Good morning and welcome. I'm Captain Sean Cassidy, and I serve as first Vice President of the Airline Pilots Association International, and I'll be the moderator for this event today. It is a pleasure to welcome you to this conference on the laser illuminations of aircraft. This conference, which is hosted jointly by the Airline Pilots Association as well as the Air Transport Association, will provide updates from numerous and distinguished subject matter experts. Our speakers will share with you many aspects of this problem, to include medical dangers and the threat that lasers pose to the safe and secure operation of our aircraft, whether commercial or private, fixed wing or rotor. You will hear the high-level 30,000-foot view addressing government policy and the legislative action, and gain insights into the boots-on-the-ground perspective from the law enforcement authorities and regulatory professionals. Now, I'm holding in my hand a laser pointer that's legally available to the public, let me make sure it's pointed in the right direction, very easily available online and through various places. Easy to purchase, low-power device, and quite harmless as long as it's used for its intended purposes. However, thousands of times each year, people all across this country, and across the world indeed, shine these directly at commercial aircraft, flight decks, and other kinds of aircraft. The results from such seemingly harmless acts are not harmless at all. Their potential to distract, to disorient, and ultimately to physically harm makes the irresponsible use of these lasers hazardous to everybody on the aircraft, and especially the pilots. The purpose of this conference today is to figuratively shine a light on this problem and to make the public much more aware of the dangers associated with using these lasers in such a way that endangers our air traffic, air traveler, cargo, and pilots. Our goal is to eliminate this problem in the foreseeable future, and we are very optimistic that with your help we can achieve that goal. I'd like to offer a little bit of a historical perspective on laser threats to the industry. As early as April of 1980, the FAA began recording laser incidents which interfered with commercial and general aviation operations. The FAA and the Food and Drug Administration, working with ALPA, the aviation industry, the laser show and entertainment industries, and others, resolved this problem satisfactorily in the 1990s with improved guidance. Since that time, however, laser technology and availability has evolved and escalated from a few commercial laser shows to the vast proliferation of small, inexpensive, handheld lasers, to the point at which they pose a very significant and considerable threat to pilots and our passengers. As a result of the growing use of handheld laser pointers, the total number of laser incidents reported to the FAA increased from fewer than 50 total for the 23 years between 1980 and September 2003 to 46 individual events in 2004. A sharp increase in this number of events began in 2005, and the dangerous trend continues to this day. The number of incidents more than doubled from 2008 to 2009, and nearly doubled again between 2009 and 2010. The FAA reports that have been 2,589 attacks, laser attacks, through September of this year. So we are unfortunately looking at exceeding that mark for the cumulative year of 2011, I'm sure by quite a significant margin. As a side note, I was out at Leesburg Executive Airport last night filming a news piece on laser awareness with one of the local news stations. And just coincidentally, the person who was towing out an aircraft that we're going to use for a demonstration found out that we were doing this piece on lasers and just incidentally said, "Oh, I was lased last week." And he happens to be a CFI, a certified flight instructor. And so they pulled him aside in addition to interviewing myself and Patrick from the Laser Industries Association. He gave a very, very vivid account of flying at about 3,000 feet, not far away from here, and having somebody shine one of these little handheld lasers and basically put it on the wing and track it right in towards the flight deck. I think if nothing else demonstrates and clarifies the significance of the problem, that probably does, just running casually into this person last night. Since the 1990s, ALPA has worked with the Air Transport Association, Federal Aviation Administration, and the Food and Drug Administration, the American Medical Association, the International Federation of Airline Pilots Associations, the U.S. Air Force, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Federal Air Marshal Service, and others to eliminate this problem. But obviously, much more work remains to be done. And much more work is being done, as you'll hear from our speakers today. At this time, I'd like to introduce the President of the Airline Pilots Association, Captain Lee Moak. His biography and those of all of our speakers today are included in your conference materials, so I'll refer to you to those documents for information. Captain Moak began serving as ALPA's 9th president at the beginning of this year. Captain Moak.